there's a quiet war happening inside of you. A tension between the life you've accepted and the life you know you're meant to live. Not just career success, not just personal growth, but total transformation, where every fiber of who you are evolves into something unshakable, undeniable, unstoppable. And the truth is, you don't need more time. You don't need more motivation. You need to decide once and for all that average is no longer welcome at your table. Because the life you want, the career you crave, the future you feel buried beneath the distractions, it's not far. It's just on the other side of alignment. You don't get there by chasing approval. You get there by upgrading your philosophy. Because personal and professional development aren't separate roads. They are one road. And the vehicle that drives it is who you become. The first key is this: own your mindset like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. Everything begins in the mind. Your results, your actions, your habits, your emotions, your income, all of it. The mind is the lens through which you interpret possibility. And if the lens is cracked with doubt, fear, or scarcity, you'll never see clearly. You've been conditioned to react, to consume, to compare, but none of that serves the person you are becoming. You must train your mind to think for your vision, not for your limitations. That means turning off the noise and turning on the awareness. What are you allowing into your consciousness? Who are you giving influence over your attention? Because whatever you feed grows. And if you feed your mind with garbage, don't be surprised when your results start to rot. But when you reprogram your thinking, when you refuse to let old narratives dictate new chapters, everything changes. You begin to move with intention. You begin to become dangerous to mediocrity. Your belief system begins to fortify. And belief, that's where everything takes root. You must believe that your growth is non-negotiable, that you are allowed to evolve beyond what your past suggests, that you have the right to redefine your identity based on who you want to become, not who they told you you were. Belief is not a soft emotion. It's a fierce commitment. It's waking up and saying, I am no longer available for playing small. I am done entertaining self-doubt as if it deserves a seat at my table. Because when belief meets behavior, momentum becomes inevitable. That's when you stop drifting. That's when you start designing with clarity. And clarity is not optional, it's the ignition switch. Without clarity, your potential is scattered. Your energy leaks. Your goals stay dreams because your direction is fuzzy. But with clarity, everything aligns. You stop asking what to do next because you've decided who you are and where you're going. Clarity is when your vision becomes a vow, not a wish, not a someday, a vow. And that vow begins to shape your time, your focus, your network, your habits. Clarity builds structure, and structure builds confidence. That's when you create a career, not just a job, a life, not just a schedule. And that life must be infused with vision, because you cannot rise beyond what you refuse to imagine. If your vision is small, your actions will be hesitant. But if your vision is grand, specific, and powerful, it will pull you through every obstacle. Vision gives pain a purpose. It gives failure context. It makes the grind sacred. You're not just working. You're building a legacy. You're crafting a reality that others will one day call inspiration. Your vision is the compass that keeps you on course, even when the storm rages. And storms will rage. That's why you need purpose. Purpose is the fuel you drink when energy runs dry. It's what keeps you going when no one's watching. It's what makes the process meaningful, not just mechanical. Purpose turns ambition into service. It's not just about climbing, it's about what you carry as you rise, who you lift, what problems you solve, what impact you make beyond the numbers, beyond the applause. Purpose is what roots your development so deeply that nothing can shake it. But purpose without discipline is just potential dressed as passion. Discipline is what turns your ideas into evidence. It's the promise you keep to yourself. It's the choice to honor your future self when comfort begs for attention. Discipline is brutal and beautiful. It means you train when it's hard. You study when it's boring. You show up when it's quiet. You push through when your mind says stop, because you've rewired your identity to act in alignment with your purpose. And the greatest discipline of all? Consistency, showing up again and again and again. And from that consistency, you begin to develop something even more dangerous than ambition: momentum. Momentum makes you magnetic. People start to notice. Opportunities begin to shift. But not because they're magical, because you've become someone that cannot be ignored. And now, you move into action. Real, tangible, aligned action. Not the kind that just fills your calendar, the kind that builds your character. You make the call. You launch the idea. You start the project. You stop waiting for clarity to feel good, and you start creating clarity through motion. You act because the version of you who waits dies slowly. But the version of you who acts, who risks, who speaks truth into fear, that version becomes unstoppable. And with action comes the need for gratitude. Not the casual kind, the deep cellular gratitude that grounds you in the present. Because success without gratitude is bankruptcy. If you can't find joy now, you won't find it with more. Gratitude is what sharpens your vision and protects your peace. It reminds you how far you've come and strengthens your courage to keep going. Because once you've built the belief, the mindset, the clarity, the vision, once your purpose has lit the fire and discipline has kept it burning, once you've started to act, to move, to build, now you must learn to bend without breaking. This is where adaptability enters the frame. You see, life doesn't hand you a straight path. It twists, it turns, it punches without warning. And in those moments, it's not the smartest who win, it's the ones who adjust, who bend with the wind but never lose their roots. You must become flexible in strategy but immovable in mission. You must evolve, shift, pivot, rework, but never retreat from who you are becoming. Adaptability is not weakness. It is mastery in motion. It is power refined. The willingness to release what no longer serves your next level, even if it once served your survival. You will outgrow systems. You will outgrow roles. You will outgrow people. Let them go with grace, not guilt. Because if you're holding on to the old out of obligation, you're sacrificing the new out of fear. And fear is the gatekeeper of every next level, which is why the next trait, the next profound key in both personal and career evolution is resilience. Resilience is forged in silence. It is the quiet, unseen, unglamorous decision to rise anyway, to keep building when it breaks, to keep believing when it's not working, to keep becoming when nothing makes sense. Resilience doesn't scream, it doesn't post, it doesn't seek pity. Resilience whispers, "I'm not done." And it's that whisper that keeps you moving through rejection, through burnout, through betrayal, through delay, through drought. Because you know this, the process is not punishing you, it's preparing you. Every hit you take becomes a layer of armor. Every loss becomes a lesson embedded into your foundation. And over time, the world stops seeing a person, they start seeing a force. But to harness that force, to refine it and expand it, you must never stop learning. Never. Learning is not school. It is not a phase. It is a posture. The most dangerous people in the world are not the ones who know everything. They're the ones who are obsessed with growing. You must learn from failure. Learn from feedback. Learn from silence. Learn from those ahead of you. Learn from your past. And most of all, learn from your pain. Because pain is a professor that never lies. It strips away illusion. It exposes your edges. And if you listen, it teaches you everything you need to become unshakable. Let the world chase trends. Let the shallow chase applause. You chase depth, chase truth, chase the edge of your potential like your life depends on it. Because it does. Your life, your career, your impact, none of it is separate. It is all one life, and it is passing by whether you rise or not. So choose to rise, not by chance, but by choice. A choice backed by belief. A choice empowered by clarity. A choice fueled by purpose, forged by discipline, guided by action, anchored in gratitude, flexible through adaptability, sustained by resilience, and elevated through learning. This is how you evolve. This is how you build. This is how you become. And one day soon they'll ask, how did you do it? How did you build so high, so wide, so deep? And you'll answer, not with ego, but with truth. I didn't wish for it. I didn't wait for it. I worked for it. Strategically, deliberately, relentlessly. Because success, real success, lasting success is not given, it is earned. And now, you're ready to earn every inch of it.